the North Pole, a place of immense beauty and harsh reality. For centuries, it has captivated our imaginations, a symbol of adventure and the unknown. But today, the North Pole is making headlines for a different reason. It's at the epicenter of a changing climate, a stark warning of the environmental challenges facing our planet. The Arctic is warming faster than anywhere else on Earth. This warming is causing the Arctic sea ice, the frozen oceans surrounding the North Pole, to melt at an alarming rate. The ice is not just shrinking in size, it's also becoming thinner. Imagine a sheet of ice that was once several meters thick, now reduced to a mere shell. This thinning ice is more susceptible to breaking up and melting away completely. Scientists have been tracking Arctic sea ice for decades, and the data is deeply concerning. In 2024, the Arctic sea ice reached its seventh lowest extent on record. That's a loss of millions of square kilometers of ice, an area larger than many countries. This dramatic decline has far-reaching consequences, not just for the Arctic, but for the entire planet. The melting Arctic sea ice is not just a statistic on a graph, it's a visible reality. In a stark demonstration of this change, a marathon was recently held at the North Pole. Yes, you read that right. On July 31st, 2024, 18 runners braved freezing temperatures and uneven terrain to complete a full marathon on an ice floe near the North Pole. The North Pole Marathon, as it's called, is a testament to human endurance and a poignant reminder of the fragility of this icy realm. The marathon would have been unthinkable just a few decades ago, when the ice cap was much thicker and more stable. The fact that it's possible now highlights the dramatic changes happening in the Arctic, changes that are transforming the landscape and impacting the wildlife that depends on it. The North Pole Marathon isn't the only sign of a changing Arctic. Expeditions to the region are reporting alarming observations. The French polar expedition vessel, Le Commandant Charcot, recently returned from a voyage to the North Pole, and the crew brought back troubling accounts. They witnessed firsthand the rapid retreat of glaciers, with some melting at an alarming rate of 10 meters per day. The expedition also observed large stretches of open water where ice once dominated, as well as the formation of melt ponds on the surface of the ice cap, further accelerating the melting process. These observations are not isolated incidents, they are part of a larger pattern of change that is reshaping the Arctic. Scientists who have been studying the region for years are astounded by the speed and magnitude of the transformation. They warn that we are approaching a tipping point beyond which the changes to the Arctic may become irreversible. The fate of the North Pole is intertwined with our own. The melting Arctic sea ice is contributing to rising sea levels, threatening coastal communities around the world. The changes in the Arctic are also disrupting weather patterns, leading to more extreme events such as heat waves, droughts, and floods in different parts of the globe. The Arctic is a bellwether for the planet, a stark warning of the consequences of our actions. If we fail to address climate change, the changes we are witnessing in the Arctic will only accelerate, with devastating consequences for all of us. We must act now to reduce our emissions and protect this fragile environment for generations to come. The future of the North Pole, and indeed the planet, hangs in the balance. The time for action is now, before the icy heart of the Arctic melts away forever.